Now, I know that Love Life is very popular, for having programs that educate young people over diversity of, programs and topics and issues that we face in the country. What seems to be the priority at Love Life in terms of educating young people this year and the past years and years to come?
Right now, we have focused on youth leadership development. And with that, we have looked at our programs and really embedded in them core elements of self-awareness, resilience, equality, safety, all of those issues. And that is how issues of LGBTI also come in, where we are encouraging and educating young people really to be self-aware, to know about what the issues are, and to also know the rights and responsibilities. When you're talking issues of equality and issues of safety, it's about also respecting other people's choices and being tolerant to those choices. So most of our programs have now embedded that element in them, in ensuring that young people out there, as much as we were talking about HIV prevention when we started Love Life, we are now focusing on other broader issues that make up this young person, and saying, as much as you want to talk about HIV issues, you need to be talking about other issues where this young person is interacting that make this young person as well. So that's why the shift from HIV prevention to youth leadership development and focusing on those core elements as well.
Now, you are the Senior Manager of Love Life Psychosocial Support. For someone that doesn't understand that portfolio, what does it mean to give psychosocial support?
So we provide a very holistic program. We have face-to-face programs where we're dealing with issues of educating on sexual reproductive health and rights issues, and also looking at issues of youth leadership. But embedded with all of our programs, we also provide counseling and information service. That is the psychosocial support service. And it is freely accessible. We offer it mainly via a call center. So that is where then, when young people are out there and everyone else, like parents, are not knowing and not sure how to deal with issues of sexuality, how to deal with challenges of raising a young person, or a young person themselves, not understanding what is going on with me. I'm not sure if, where I'm going, or I'm not sure about relationships, so I'm having challenges with certain things in a relationship. You can freely access that contact center and send a please call me to 083-323-1023. And you can talk to a counselor for free who will be able to take you through what is going on with you, and even direct you to resources or places, or even places like, events like Gay Pride currently, where you can go and participate and learn more, and be active. One of the core elements of our programs now is being an active participant, an active young person in issues, that impact on us.
And speaking of, the Gay Pride, I mean, in my intro I did mention that in the past some attendees had to cover their faces, so not to be identified, because, there was still so much stigma attached to being, gay or lesbian or even transgender. But how far has South Africa come in terms of acceptance and tolerance with one's sexuality?
I think we've come a long way. When you look at our laws are more permissive. We see that we really entrench the rights of everyone. Freedom of choice, freedom of, you can choose who you want to have as a partner, and even get married. In other countries, they still have a long way to go, even in legalizing marriage, between people who are not heterosexuals. So this is, I think, as a country, we've come a long way, and it's important that we practice that sense of tolerance. It's mainly about tolerance and accepting diversity in who we are as a people and where we've come. From where we have come, we've come a long way, really. But there's still a lot that needs to be done in terms of issues of stigma in communities, and people not understanding, what being different and choosing to be different is all about. So that we still see issues on gender-based violence, people still being assaulted for being gay or being lesbian or just choosing to be different, people still being very intolerant of those kinds of choices. So we still have a long way to go in really tackling issues of attitudes towards people who prefer to be different.
And I mean, how do we do that? Because as you mentioned, there are still, you know, cases. I know last year there was a very wide range of cases of corrective rape amongst lesbian women. And we know of our neighboring countries like Uganda where, you know, gay men are criminalized or taken to prison for coming out as gay men. But how do you advise that perhaps as a society we can curb, you know, that you did mention attitudes as one of the ways where we can begin?
It's continuous education and engagement. You know, people become very defensive and negative when they don't understand, when they don't, when they feel threatened that what they know is normal, you know, is being threatened. And when we continuously engage in those kinds of discussions and bring them on the public agenda, you know, of issues for discussion, we are able to continuously then educate people, because these are also human beings with rights. We also have to make people understand that everybody has a right, you know, the rights that everybody has in the Constitution that protects everybody's a right to dignity, to who they want to be and what they choose. That's really things, continuous engagement and integrating issues of gender in our programming and mainstreaming them. You know, in the programs that we do, for instance, at Love Life, like I said earlier, that you mainstream these issues and embed them in issues of gender so that people understand what that is all about, and from a very early age. And as parents, I think as well as you become quite skeptical or really as well threatened, because if you see your child behaving differently, you are more scared of what society will say, because we have a very defined sense of what girls and boys should, how they should behave. And when you see that being, you know, questioned, and your child, you really want to protect, and the only way that most parents understand is to be harsh, is to reject, is to, you know, all of those isolation, alienation things that people behave, you know, or project towards this. But it's important to continuously engage and say there's nothing wrong with the person, and it has nothing to do with blaming or, you know, saying somebody did something wrong along the way or whatever. It's about trying to understand, where is this child coming from? What are they trying to say? And who are they? It's about them eventually, about their identity and how they want to express themselves.
And speaking of engagements and just integrating those conversations and engaging further for better understanding and tolerance and acceptance, I suppose, what is Love Life's role in today's Gay Pride?
We have published a number of pamphlets, for lack of a better word, information pamphlets that we distribute. We also have some of our staff members participating as well. In the previous Gay Pride, we had a stall as well at the Gay Pride that we would put up and really sensitize people towards the programs that we offer, and particularly about the psychosocial support service that we offer, where they can access a counselor should they need to engage with somebody and stuff like that. But it's really talking about the programs that we do and ensuring that young people are also active in issues like this.
Well, thank you so much, Precious Magogodi, of course, the Senior Manager of Love Life Psychosocial Support and Project Owner, Love Life UNFP Gender-Based Violence Project. Thank you so much for your time.